Hello, welcome to my studio. It's good to have you. So what have I got going? I want to work some more on acrylics. So I have my little journal that I'll show you, and I did prep the page with some Liquitex gesso, and then I've got some acrylic paint. So I have my black and white, and then I've got this time a couple of metallics that I want to use. And I have some colors. Now I picked a couple of darks, magenta and purple. And then I got some neon pink and this orange, which is called Cheese Puff. So I thought these would be my basic colors. And these are just paints that are paints I have on hand. Use what you have. I have a paper plate to use as a mixing tray. And then I've got my journal. And there's my 2 prepped pages. And then I got some paper because I'm not so concerned about having the color transfer onto other sheets. And I'm going to back up a bit. I have been enjoying this acrylic challenge so much. And I've got 2 other videos ahead of this one if you haven't seen them yet. But I was working in a small journal like this, so I grabbed one that I haven't used yet. And I want to dedicate this to doing these acrylic paintings. I feel like if I just do them and I can get better or, learn things. So I just picked this little, and this is a Dilutions. It's the dialogue set, and it is the traveler size journals, and it's a whole system, and I just love it. The paper is, it's a good cardstock, but the surface, it is not just a regular cardstock. It's really designed for mixed media, and today I'm using it for acrylic. So I'm going to put some, and this is just like wax paper that I got from the dollar store that I use, and it works just great. And a roll of it lasts a long time. So for this one, I decided I'm going to add a little twist of my own. And so I just grabbed a couple of punches, and use whatever punches you have. I did some punch out of a dictionary. I did an oval out of music note paper, and then I did a little circle with some text that I want to put on here as well. So I want to add a little collage element, but basically it's going to be, an acrylic painting. It's kind of bouncing up on me. If I need to clip it down later, I will, but I think it'll relax a little bit. So let's get started. Got some brushes, and before I put those elements on, I'm going to start by just painting a basic background. So I wrote this lady's name down, Yvette Saint Amant. In the couple first videos, I explained that I saw a class advertised, and I just watched the advertisement, and I thought, can I do this? Can I do this on my own? Let me try. And so we did that together. It was great fun. And then I did another one. Loved it. Now I have not taken the class, but I can tell you the class is very reasonably priced. It's under $40. And I think you're going to do 24 of these abstract, bright acrylic paintings. One is more beautiful than the next. Now she just kind of does a real fast flip through, and I can't even tell you exactly what's in it. But because again, it's an advertisement it's come up on my Instagram. It's come up on my Facebook feed, and I think since I did click on that one, now I'm getting some other classes that are coming up. I wouldn't say they're the same, but I would say they're a similar flavor. But I have always liked acrylics. I have a lot of acrylics. When I have gone to places like Tuesday Morning and even Michael's and Hobby Lobby and wherever, that's where I grabbed a lot of these paints. And I didn't even pay attention so much to what the color was, but more if I had the color already or not. This is a more transparent paint, obviously, so that's why I'm just giving it a little bit more. This is the magenta. But I just want to get a nice bright background. All of this is bright. And you know, I am a girl who loves color. Love it. And I asked my eye doctor, you know, am I getting cataracts because, which I do have cataracts. I lived in Arizona for 20 years, but they're not matured. They're not in my vision at all. But she said, well, no, why? And I said, you know, I just love color, the brighter, the bolder. She says, well, it's not your eyes. You know, I was thinking that maybe it's just taking more punch of color to satisfy me, but, and that maybe my eyes just weren't bringing in as much color as they used to. But no, that doesn't seem to be the case at all. So now the common theme that I picked up in this advertisement, and this lady has a YouTube channel. I did look her up a little bit more, just her. I did not study the class, but I did look more up about her, and she has a YouTube channel. So I will try to remember, if I don't, put it in the comments, to link her YouTube channel. But she has an Instagram and, you know, just all the things that we all do. But she's a stunning artist. Stunning. And so beautiful. Just one piece after the next. So I am working on another bright background to get us started. Okay, I like that very much. I'm going to rinse my brush. I've got the 2 jars of rinsing water. I have my acrylic brushes. I do watercolor, but I do not mix my watercolor brushes with my acrylic brushes. The acrylic process is just too tough on a brush, and you need fine detail for watercolor. And, you know, I am scouring these brushes, so I do not have those brushes together. And I'm going to add some of the purple over here. I may need to open it up all the way. These paints are weird, but I like them. This is a gel, so it's kind of lumpy and bumpy, but that's the way it's designed. But I so far, they're made by Folk Art, and I like them. And I got it at Tuesday morning, so I don't even know if they're still available. If it was a discontinued line, I have no idea. But I want to get, and I'm trying to go a little darker in the background. Now with acrylics, you tend to work from the dark to the light. And instead, when I'm doing watercolor, I go from the light to the dark. So it's kind of opposite, but I enjoy both processes. I want more purple. Let's see, bring it down here maybe. Yeah, yes, I like that. This is a really nice opaque color. And having the gesso underneath, the paper absorbs much less, if it absorbs any at all, because the gesso is a primer. So you need, usually, my experience is you need less acrylic paint when you have a gessoed surface. And I just like the smoothness. The thing about this art is that strikes me, one of the things, it is so smooth. Everything looks so smooth. The colors are very exact. Now, you can mix colors, of course, but you don't see that mixing on the canvas as much as you see it, you know, solid colors, bold colors. And I love that. Okay, so I've got the purple, I've got the magenta. Should I have grabbed more color? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I've got the pink, but this is awfully light. And if I remember correctly, it's not very, it's more transparent. It's not really covering. Well, what should we add? I'm sorry that I'm taking so long. I think what I'll do maybe, is I'll take the purple, just a little, on my mixing. This is strong, so I'm just adding a little. I'm going to add some white. I'm trying not to drag my sleeve in my work, but I might. I might. And I'm going to create just another shade of the purple and get another something over here, I think. So let's mix this up. And normally I like to leave the rainbow or kind of marbly effect, but for this application, for this style, I didn't see that. Now, again, I was looking at little fleeting moments. So, yeah, I like this. I think this will be good. Okay. Maybe I'll put it in two places. I'm going to bring this around to here. I could still see streaks, but I think they'll calm down once I'm trying to not take the smoothness away from the edge, and this edge needs more. Maybe I've never been patient enough. I don't know. I have just a ridge of paint up there, and I know it's going to take forever to dry. Now, I think I knocked it down without ruining the edge too much. It's kind of a violet, would you say? I think so. So, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I want to put some more. I'm thinking about crossing over. Can I dare do that? Well, hey, it's my art journal, right? Let's just see. If I don't like it, I can always paint over it or turn the page, right? So let's just see. Look at that good coverage. Now this purple's going to pick up, I know, because it's not dry. But let's just see. I'm getting a lot of streaking, but we'll blend it out. Definitely we will blend it out. Can you see that edge? Can you see what's bothering me? All right, can I get a little more? I have more purple on my plate, but I'm just going to add a little more white. I don't think I need any more purple. So you can see how much I added there. And let's mix this up and see. Too much white. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, too much white. Oh, this is when I end up with a gallon of paint. Ooh, well, I'm not going to play with that. I was going to say I've got some purple on the edge on the wax paper. But I just think by the time I fish it out, I'm going to have more of a mess than anything. Now, this is probably too dark. Too dark, too light. It's like when you cut your hair. You know, you're cutting your bangs. Too short. Whoops, this side's too short. Whoops, that side's too short. And the next thing you know, you've covered the whole, you've cut your bangs off. You're all the way to the scalp. That's how I'm kind of feeling. All right, a little more white, but this is it. Whatever I end up with, that's the color. Just add a dot there. And I'll just add some of it. All right, let's see. Not bad. All right, I'm going to give it another coat. And I'll see if I can clean up this edge. Not yet. The pink has a awfully rough edge as well. All right, we're getting better. And I'm getting a more smooth of a blend. Still have some streakiness, but ugh, picked up some purple again, obviously. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. I can always clean up the edges the further I get along in this, because I'm going to be using Poscas and other things, so I could fuss and fuss and fuss over an area that's not even going to show. Now, I hope you brought yourself a cup of coffee or some tea and just relax. And you know, if you don't have a small journal, just work on what you have. See if you like it before you invest. If you don't have these colors, certainly don't let that hinder you. Use what colors you have. You bought the colors, you must have liked them. So give that a try. I'm going to add some more magenta because I can really see through it. It's so transparent. So I am going to add some more magenta and see if I can just make it look a little less brush strokey. I'm not saying brush strokes are bad, but for this, I think one of the things that I liked so much was, again, that smoothness. Not a lot of marks and lines like that in the solid color areas. Okay. I'm still seeing some, but I think I'm just going to add a tiny bit more. Ugh. Some of these are just a little bit easier to open than others. Now, if you don't have a Tuesday morning, and honestly, I don't know who does anymore because I know they closed an awful lot of their stores, which is just heartbreaking. I was first introduced to a Tuesday morning that opened up very near where I was working, but they have kind of overruns or items that have been discontinued, but high quality on the whole. I used to find it for doing collage work a fantastic place to get beautiful napkins. I think they call them serviettes. But they're not clothes. More housewares. They had books. They had journals. The art supplies at first weren't as much as they were towards the end when you could get things that looked like they were from maybe Michael's, Joann's. You could get Tim Holtz, lots of Ranger products across the board, all of their signature artists. I never saw Diane Reevely things there, but I did see Tim Holtz, and I saw some of the other, the more card maker type things. But I know I believe there's one in the city where I live. If they're outside the United States, I'm not aware. Okay, I'm kind of stalling to let this dry a little bit. To add these, I'm going to use gel medium. And gel medium is like acrylic paint that doesn't have any pigment in it, so it's clear. But so I'm just putting acrylic on acrylic, so I'm not so worried about the drying as much as I don't want to drag the paint over these. So I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to go grab my gel medium. I forgot to grab it. But tell me in the comments, what do you think of this color combination? Does that do anything for you? I like the pinks and the purples. I think it looks cool. I think I'm wearing pinks and purples, aren't I? Maybe that's where the inspiration came from. I'm not sure. Okay, so I've got my gel medium that I can use. I think I'm going to hit this with the dryer, but I'm going to talk us through it. So I found one of the things that was so desirable when I just saw this quick ad was that I felt like anybody could do this. You don't need to have a big designated studio. You just need a flat surface. You don't need a whole lot of paints. Now the paints she uses were all like this. What I call those fluid acrylics. But Apple Barrel, and I know that like Target and other stores like Target, and I'm sorry for those of you that don't live in the US, I don't know what the equivalents would be, but Target has everything, clothes, but they do have, I think they now have their own line of acrylic paints. So they've white labeled with some company, and they've got acrylic paints that I've seen other YouTube channels rave about. So, you know, don't hesitate. Use what you have. If you have chalk paints, use chalk paints. And then, like I said, if you don't have a small journal, don't buy one for that purpose unless you really want to. But I'm just trying to say that I don't want you to feel like unless you invest, you know, $50, $75, you're not going to be able to do this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. A couple of brushes, a couple of acrylic paints. You can work on the back of a cereal box. I think gesso would be awfully handy. And you can get gesso in much smaller containers. I've seen gesso in tubes this small. And, you know, just to try it. And gesso is handy to have. Almost any project, if you're going to paint a birdhouse, if you're going to paint some Christmas ornaments, using gesso is always a big help. It's a good primer. Okay, I think it's dry enough. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know I'm not big on using a heat gun on acrylics. 2 reasons. It can burn the acrylics, so you have to really keep it moving. And it just creates the top layer. The bottom layer is still not cured. It will cure, but it's going to take some time. But I just want, for video's sake, to keep us moving. All right, so I've got this, which I think would look nice right there. So this is a designated for gel medium brush. I still dip it in the water because I don't want the gel medium to just sink deep into the brush. I want it out here on my paper. And I'm going to, this stuff is gooky. I'm going to open it over the trash. Oh, there we go. But you want to always have a good seal because it's expensive. You don't want it to dry out. But if it dries out, you know, it just becomes like clear plastic, and you want it to always stay a little bit fluid. Between art sessions, it never hurts just to take your mister and give it 1 or 2 mists when you close it up at the end of your project. And that just replaces the water that was lost because you had it open while you were working. Okay, enough jibber jabber. Let's get some of this on here. And I'm not lifting the paint, so I'm very grateful for that. It's acrylic, so I'm not worried if I get over, like beyond where I need it to be. I would rather too much than not enough. Now I'm going to just lay this down and glue her on. And I do want to be sure that I have gel medium over the whole thing. That's going to act like an acrylic primer so that the paints react the same as they do on top of gesso or on top of any other acrylic. Okay, now I have this oval. Maybe put that there. And, you know, if you don't have the circle or oval, whatever stamps you have, if you have a tag shape, if you have a square, just whatever you have, it's all fine. Use what you have. Don't run out and buy stuff. And, you know, just grab a magazine and start doing it. Now I've got this one with some words, and I think I'm going to go part over, part off of this and get some gel medium on that. Okay, good. Now, this darkened because of the gel. This is also darkening. When the when the gel medium, pardon me, when it dries, that will come back to its other color. It's not like a varnish or something that's going to just keep it dark. So, gel medium. I didn't have it open that long, so I'm not going to squirt it with some water. Okay, now I think I'm going to hit this with the dry again. It'll only take a moment. But I wanted to reassure you, I work in my home, which is a one-bedroom apartment. So when you think that you need a huge area, I don't have a huge area. I'm working in my living room. One of the good things about working in my living room, the same as it would be maybe in working in your dining area, is that it really encourages me to keep things picked up. My art space used to be a higgledy-piggledy mess. No more, because I have to keep it neat, because this is also where I entertain friends and family. So I do want to keep it always picked up. So that's kind of been an unseen bonus with having my art space in my living space. So what I thought I would do is I would work with shapes. And just, you know, I started with a circle and two circles and an oval. But just add shapes, and then we're going to, you know, kind of doodle on top. So let's get started with some shapes. I want to start out right away with this orange. Contrast to me. Orange and purple, I believe they're opposite on the color wheel. I might be wrong, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to add some of this orange. Just a little. Can always add more. And start out with some shapes. I'm going to take a flat brush. Oh, I've got this is my gel medium brush that I left in the water. You don't want to leave your brushes in the water because you can loosen up the glue that helps hold the bristles as well as the crimped ferrule. And if it's wood especially, it'll swell and crack. So try not to do that. But I am wetting my brush. I don't want to water this down. But all right. Let's start out maybe with a triangle. Like that. Then work to fill it in. Now that purple underneath is plenty strong. So, and I want to get as close to a point as I can. It won't be perfect. Oh boy. Again, I'm cutting my bangs and I'm trying to correct, whoop, correct, whoop, correct. All right, we're going to call that done, that point. And look at here, this corner is in need of some help. And obviously, going to need more than one coat, and that's okay. All right, let's get another shape. Maybe a shape that's going off the edge, like a square. Can you see? And then what I want to do is just doodle and do mark making, which I love. It's so relaxing. That's why I said I hope you brought a cup of coffee or some tea and just maybe art with me, have an arty party. Wouldn't that be fun? I'd love to have you over. I have room that I can set up more than just myself to do art. And just like any other day, just have to pick it up at the end of the day, unless you're going to eat on the floor. Not that I'm above that, especially for art's sake. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. One more. Let's see. Obviously, I have enough circles. Well, I could do a rectangle. That's a wavy line. I think I want it bigger. First, I try to concentrate on getting the edges the way I want, and then I work on filling it in. Okay, what do you think? I'm liking those. I'm wondering if that rectangle could be just a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to need more paint, but that's okay. I might be able to just work out of the lid. Okay, work on the edge, Julie. Oh boy. That's a wavy line, and I made it a lot thicker. That's okay. Okay. This is a Ranger product, and one thing I found about my Ranger paints, and other than this type of dauber paint that I got, again, clearance, I have the Diane Reevely's paints. They dry fast. Not as fast as like a Posca marker, but they do dry fast. All right, I put a dip in there. So I'm going to bring this looks a little like it's leaning. Try to straighten it out. I don't want to leave such a heavy line of paint there. All right, now just fix this corner. Okay, that's good. Real good. All right. I'm not sure I pulled out enough colors because I've already used, well, I didn't use the pink yet. Let's see about that. Okay. Stop whining, Julie. Stop whining. Let's see. Let's rinse out the orange. And both with these bright colors, both of my jars are already getting pretty full. If I only had one, I would have had to get up and change it already. I can still see orange. But you can see how I really have to work the brushes in the water. And that's why I like to have the two. So, but it's why I also don't want that to be my watercolor brushes. Okay, let's see what we can do with the neon pink. Just with a few more shapes. And then I think I want to start the mark making. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And this is getting low because I like it. All right, I'm going to switch to a round brush. Let's see. Maybe this one. This is that long Liquitex. It's a number 2 round. I'm going to wet it. And what kind of a shape do we want? I'm thinking. Square, rectangle, triangle. I could do another triangle. Why not? Maybe I could do more triangles, like a series of them. Oh yeah, I knew this was awfully transparent. You know, I may just need to add a little bit of white to help with the opacity because this is so transparent. And historically, my experience is the more it dries, the more transparent it gets. So I'm just going to add a little white to my plate here. I'll show you. So here I've got just this much white, and let's see what we can do. I realize it's going to change the brilliance, but I think it needs that punch. And if this doesn't work, then I can show you another fix, maybe. All right, let's put another one in. Yeah, that's better, but it's obviously a much different color. Okay, we'll do these, but then I can show you another way that we can fix that. I'm going to put another one in. Oh, getting bigger. Still plenty transparent, but not as transparent as that. Okay, I'm going to fix that when it dries. All right, let me show you another way. Let me rinse this off. When you have this situation, I am going to, I've got some white right here, and I'm just going to try to pick it up without grabbing the purple. And first, I'm going to do a white shape. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bigger triangle right here. So we'll have the 3 up there, and then we'll have this one here. And then this is going to be like my base coat, my primer, and then I'll put the pink on top. And then I shouldn't lose so much of that beautiful, brilliant color. Oh, I just jumped. Somebody dropped the lid on the garbage and it made a crash. Okay, that should be good enough. We're going to let that dry. I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and I'm going to just see if I can, without smearing, blot this up. Good. And now, will it be the same? I don't know. But what I'm going to try to do is, I just cleaned up the edge a little bit. I'm going to just take a little bit of water and clean this edge up a little more. Okay. Paper towel. Okay. Now, see about using this pink. I don't want that brush. Let me try this brush. I wasn't too crazy about the Liquitex brush for this part either. But let's see if we can add this. And I think it'll be fine. There. That helped. What do you think? Let me know. Leave me a comment. But I think the repair worked. This one is, I would say, 80% dry, so I'm putting another coat on it. Are you new to my channel? Welcome if you're new. If you're returning, welcome back. We have really started to form, thanks to you, a nice community. And I appreciate it so much because, you know, this is fun for me, and to know that other people can enjoy it too, it means a lot. It really does. Okay, that's pretty dry, but not dry enough. I think I'm going to try to take some of this lighter pink and put it up here. And you know, I think I'm done just running right off the edges. So I'm going to remove this crackly, crinkly stuff. And You can see how this is sticking. Can you imagine how it would just glue my pages together? All right. I don't like that brush either. Fussy little girl, aren't I? Although it's very rare that anyone has referred to me as little. Let's try this one. And let's see about some of these triangles up at the top. Let's see what we get. And I'm going to try this way. Different brush, different results. Maybe I'll make this one even bigger. And the third one even bigger. What do you think of that? And then make this one bigger. Yeah. And that's going to need a second coat. There is more autumn color every day. Yesterday I looked at some trees that had just a little, maybe a leaf here, a leaf there, that you could say, oh yeah, that's turning. Well, now like half the tree. Spring came that way this year. We had nothing on the trees, and the next day I drove down the same street, full bloom. I was just, what in the world am I Rumpelstiltskin? Did I sleep for a month? But yeah, it just came so fast. We really hardly had a spring. We just went right from freezing at night and cold to warm, considerably warm. All right, do these need another coat? I don't think it will hurt. One more. This one is primarily on white, so it's not showing the brush strokes and the high and the low paint areas like the ones on the violet. Okay. Alrighty. Should I try even to put another coat on these? Let me turn this around. I like that we've got the lighter pink and the darker pink. I think that turned out okay. It was just kind of not planned, but I still like it. It's trying to sharpen up the edge a little bit. Oh boy. Oh, the more I fix it, the worse it gets, huh? Can be that way sometimes, but don't give up. Just keep going. And these things always end up, in my opinion, going through kind of what I call their ugly phase. And you just have to keep going. Keep going. I try to never shut a project down until I really feel like it's finished and I still don't like it. You know what I mean? And maybe that means it was never finished, but you know, I try to give it all a good shot because I don't know, I think you can throw the baby out with the bathwater just too fast. All right, I'm going to give this orange another coat. And again, I've got so much in this lid that I'm just going to use the lid. Now, when I just look at the purple and the orange and this, I really get a feeling of kind of fall and towards Halloween, but maybe that's just because fall and autumn is on my mind right now, that my mind turns that way. But when I look at it as a whole, no, it doesn't feel like that to me. But just as I'm working on this, I'm thinking like candy corn, something like that. Okay, well, that's definitely improved in my mind. Now let's work on this one. I haven't really changed the way I dress a whole lot because in the daytime, we're still getting in the high 70s, low 80s. I don't know how to translate that into centigrade, but summer temperatures. It's the nights that are getting down into the 50s. That's where I personally feel the difference. We have a lot of fluffy clouds today, so that's always pretty to look outside and see. You can get a lot of inspiration just by looking out your window, can't you? I can. I have a small, they call it a lake, it's a pond, and it has a fountain in the middle, and when the weather is such, you can open your windows and hear the water. It's very relaxing. Okay, this is dry enough that I'm going to try to put that pink and see what we get. Yeah, see? It's just a way when you've got a paint that is more transparent, but you want the punch of the paint. I think this can be a really good way. It's more of a challenge on the edge, that's for sure. But it's doable. Definitely doable. Now, are you thinking, is this too fussy for you? I can see why someone might feel that way. I have picked up a little bit of the white where it was obviously not dry right there, but I'm not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. I still think that looks good. And I think the orange ones are looking good. The light pink up in the top, I think that needs perhaps another coat. Let's give this a spin and give it a try. These three, they might be too wet, but I'm going for it. Makes a difference. I've got water coming down from my ferrule. I don't want it to thin out the paint. This is fiddly. I admit it. But it's okay. Okay. This one may need another coat again, but I think it's a little too soon. I wouldn't mind a little something up here. I think it could use a little something. I don't know that I really want to introduce another color. Maybe I'll just mix up a little more of this light pink. Do I want to do that? Oof. What do I want to do? I know. I'm going to get the white and add just a little more to my palette. And I'm going to make a white shape. I'm going to make a white shape right here. I feel the water coming down my hand. See, water wants to collect up on here, and then as I'm painting, it rolls down, and then all of a sudden your paint turns into clear soup. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. All right, so I'm going in with this white. And I think I'm going to give it, I've got kind of a circly shape there, but I've got a square in that corner, so I don't want to do square again. Think, Julie. Well, I think another full circle still would be okay, don't you? Not that I'm that great at painting them, but let's give it a go. Not bad. Not bad. And then I'll kind of think about maybe what color I would like up there. And then maybe another one like that over here. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah. Now, I don't think I'm going to bring in another color. I might make one of them the light pink. I did bring some metallics. What if I added metallics to the top? Well, let's think about that. If I'm going to do metallics, then I think I would like to have 3 of these. Where can I put another one? Here or here? I think here. Okay. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm sure trying. All right, let's bring this around this way. I hope that doesn't make you dizzy when I move this thing around. And put a circle right here. Okay. All right, we're on the home stretch of this part. Definitely on the home stretch. Now, my paper towel is getting mighty wet on that side, so we can just turn it around and let the brushes rest on this side. All right. Okay. I'm going to go back into this light pink because I still see so much coming through. But I'm just touching up the spots that just seem to be showing off the color underneath more. Like that. I'm not doing the whole thing again. Here. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to pick a color for these 3 circles. And you know what I'm thinking? Maybe I'll do these 2, maybe in magenta, this color, and then maybe this one in the purple. How about that? Let's see what happens. Because I think it's dry enough that I can, if I kind of go gentle. Just have to try. And I am pushing the time just because I'm trying to be mindful of how much time Does that help? I don't know. It's still sticky. Oh, Julie. All right, I give in. Let's just, it won't take but a moment. So let me know, have you taken any classes? Any online classes? Now, I was with Skillshare for a year, meaning I took classes. I didn't take art-related classes. I took more about making YouTube videos and editing. I know you're thinking, well, they didn't help. Believe me, they did. I'm just a difficult study. But yeah, I was with Skillshare, and the online classes, I want to tell you, they're quite comprehensive. You get a syllabus, and they're the ones that I took were divided up into like units. So maybe like 20 minutes at a time. You didn't have to just sit there for hours. It was up to you. And then they almost always started each of the next sessions with like a review. So if you had, done 2 and then you walked away, but if you had just finished, you can easily skip the review and just keep moving on. It's definitely at your own pace. They do ask questions. I mean, you're not quizzed, but they ask questions, and then you can see, like, okay, am I getting it? Am I thinking in the right terms? Or, ooh, do I need to take this section again? It was good. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I really feel like I learned something. I really do. Okay, I realize there's a white ring around this, but I'm also still bringing up some of the white acrylics. So I'm just going to move along to this one. And I'm going to fill this one in. This is definitely more dry, but I still can see that I'm picking up some of the white. Oh boy. Okay. I'm just leaving those. When we do the doodling part, I can always create a new border for those 2 if I want to. Okay, so I was thinking purple here, kind of opposite, or maybe this pink, although I can't say that's a screaming success. Maybe I should be putting another coat on there. See if I can improve this at all. That does help. Were you telling me that? Were you saying at your screen? Put another coat. Maybe I heard you. Okay. I think I want to go purple. I think I do. Obviously, I don't need a lot. I wonder, can I get it out of the cap? I bet I can get it off of this lid. It has like a membrane, weird membrane. I'm going to set this down though. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, there. I like the dark up here. Definitely. I'm going to give it another turn. Okay. All right. I am going to give this a dry. And when I come back, we're going to start on the next phase of this. So I will see you in just a minute. Dry. but I think it's enough that I can work on it safely. And my markers are also acrylic, so I would not use a Sharpie, any type of an alcohol marker, no, but you can use, acrylic products. And if I happen to get some acrylic on, like contaminating one of my Posca pens, then all I need to do is just go ahead and wipe it off. So, because again, it's acrylic with acrylic. All right, so now is when we start the doodling, and it just kind of pulls this all together so it doesn't look so disjointed. And I'm not going to be, real worried about color. I want it to jump. I want it to sing. So, all right, I'm going to start out with this lighter orange, and I'm going to go around this guy. And what you do with these is you just press it straight down, and you can see how I got paint. So the tip is charged, but you don't want to press it down on your work because you could end up with a big old blob of paint, and then you'll be crying. Oh, there's always a way around. You know what I mean? But you want to avoid it if you can. I mean, you don't want to spend your time doing repair work. Not that I can say I haven't. Boy, have I ever. Oh boy. That's bumpy. Okay. These are not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect, but I don't know. It all just comes together at the end. I know. You're asking yourself, well, do you have a magic wand? No, but I've got magic Posca pens. They help. This may need a second coat, but that's okay. All right. Good start. Good start. Now, let's start some doodling in here. What do I want to do? I'm going to keep using this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sort of like a citrus shape. And now this part of it is going to be drawing. It's not, I'm not looking for that exact, like when I was doing the background. Yeah, whatever you're thinking. Julie, what are you talking about? But, I tried to make that more precision and exact. Now the doodles, no, not so much. So I don't know if this is going to be a flower or an orange or what it's going to be. But I'm just going to fill it in like this. I hope that maybe you'll consider giving this a try, or even taking her class. There's only one reason why I'm not taking her class, because it's very affordable. And who am I talking about? Her name is Yvette Saint Amant. The reason why is because I don't want to copyright, and I just think that if I went ahead and took her class, I could end up not being original. I mean, I feel like at this point, I've been very inspired, but just from that glimpse with the advertising, and it's well made, the advertisement. I just got an inspiration. And I've seen the type of work that she's doing before. It's not the first time I've seen it. It's not the first time you've seen it. But it's the first time that I felt inspired. And I think the part of the inspiration, I just hit this to charge it up again. Part of the inspiration I think, came from the fact that she's working in an art journal. And if anyone ever was doing this kind of art in an art journal, I never saw it. Not saying it's not out there. As a matter of fact, it probably is. But I just really felt akin to art journal working because I think it's so therapeutic. I think it is so enjoyable, relaxing. And this part of the process that I'm doing right now is very relaxing. So what is happening in your world? What are you having for supper? I have to go to the grocery. I've been trying to decide if I should go to the regular store, which is out here where I'm at is Meyer. The Meyer family is very prominent here in Western Michigan, and particularly Grand Rapids. And there's the Meyer Gardens, which are, oh my, I can't, this video is not long enough to even begin to describe it, other than if you're ever in Grand Rapids and you have the opportunity to go to the Meyer Gardens, go. I planned this year, or, like for my Christmas present to myself, is to get a pass, be a member, year member. Then you get mailings from them of all the different little events, and you can go anytime you want. And then I won't feel like, okay, I've spent, the 11 or 17 or however many dollars it is, and I need to make the most of that day. I do have physical limitations. I have rheumatoid arthritis. If you have it, God bless you. Maybe someday we can share hints and tricks. But, some days, yeah, I can walk for an hour. Some days, just depends. When I go to the rheumatologist, one of the questions, because you're handed kind of a questionnaire of how you're doing, and they ask if you wanted to, could you walk a mile? I've always answered that yes, no more. I mean, sometimes I can, but there's times that I would like to, like when my sister and her friend went to the quilt show, I knew I couldn't do that. And this is the first time. I used to go to the Detroit auto shows all the time. I lived in the Detroit, with the east part of Michigan. Went to the Henry Ford Museum and Greenfield Village, which is all a part of that. Spend the day walking in the zoo, all day at the zoo. Walk for hours, have lunch, walk for some more hours. No more. So that's a change. Does it depress me? No, because I don't let it depress me. It's not going to help. But yeah, I feel the difference. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. And I'm not disappointed that I added the little collage elements. I think that looks rather cool. I'm going to put more in it. I want to add some more punch. I'm going to add blue. And I'm going to add, I think, some circles in here. So now I think I'm going kind of Mandela looking, huh? Well, you know what? Whatever you see, that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's my art journal to see what I want to see, but I want you, or whoever is I'm going to give it a charge. Whoever is going to be going through my book, I want them to enjoy it, seeing whatever they see. I didn't fill these circles in. I still can, but I really wanted to see, leaving the dictionary to show. I think I'm gonna fill in a little bit of blue like this in the middle. It's not going to be a perfect circle. That's okay. Is my head in the picture? If it is, I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm going to just kind of equalize them out a little bit. Oh, I missed one. Okay. Yep. Oh, I think I'm going to bring this one out. There. I like that. I think I'm going to grab a pink. And I'm going to put just a smaller circle in each one. See, these are the details that make it so sweet, in my opinion. It's all these little doodles. And, you know, just don't think about how am I going to put doodles on this whole thing. Just focus in on an area, even not necessarily the whole area, but maybe just how am I going to fill in these little drop shapes, or what am I going to do next? What am I going to do with this circle? Don't think about all of it because it'll come together. It's all your hand, so it will come together. Okay. I have some more ideas for this, but I feel like I want to leave it the way it is a bit. I think I'm backpedaling. I'm gonna take, oh, my foot is on one of those papers, one of those crispy papers that I use to separate it, wax paper. I'm gonna go with green. Why did I think green? I don't know. I just wanted to add another bit of something. If you find that your acrylic marker is wanting to go up, 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 change your position, change your orientation, like move your journal around like I am, and try a little bit of a lighter touch. See, I've got it going around right there. Up, 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 up. More. I think it's the way the pen glides along the gessoed areas. But that's good enough. I think that looks great. I think I want to add some more green though. All right, I'm going to do a dot like that. It's kind of now giving me a church window kind of a vibe. Or maybe a compass rose. Again, it's whatever you see, that's what it is. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone for a minute. But I think I'm going to keep the green. And I know I have 2 shades of green. And then I think I'm going to use yellow. Although, well, go with your first thought. Start with the dark. Just kind of dividing this up, pie-like. I'm just putting texture in. I didn't really have a plan other than the colors. But yep, I like that. Okay. I'm just going to give that a second to dry. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put some of the lighter green in. All right, what about this triangle? It's on violet. How about this purple? I'm going to give it a press. There we go. I'm doing kind of mermaid scales. That's fun, isn't it? Yeah, and I think I'm going to outline it. First in purple, and then in another color. I haven't decided yet. This is awkward for my hand, so I'm there. Okay, that looks scaly. Okay, I think I'm gonna pick, so I have, yeah, I was gonna say, I think I have another shade of blue. And I'm gonna put a dot in each of these scales. Like that. And then I think I'm going to go around it with this blue, but not take out the purple, but just go around it. It's subtle on the violet, but that's okay. Can you see now how this doodling is starting to pull these things together a little bit? Okay, I'm going to go back to the sky and I'm going to go in with these green and give it a little push. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge, but kind of like towards the edge, definitely, and sort of in between, but not necessarily. Like that. And let that one dry. And since this one I made green, I'm not going to use green on that. Maybe we can start on some of these triangles. What do you say? Okay, I want to go bold or go home. That doesn't mean it has to be a bold color, more than I would rather have kind of a, what would you say, maybe like a contrast? Now this is gray. Is gray really a contrast? No, but we don't have any gray on here yet. So I think it could be cool. And I think I'm going to start with, lines. How about that? And just fill it in with kind of a texture of lines. And I'm trying not to have any of the lines cross on top of each other. You know, not like cross hatching. That could be a whole nother texture again. Good. I like it. I like gray. Now maybe go in with some yellow and just do like just some, but not in between all. How's that looking? What do you think? Are you surprised? What did, maybe just one or two here? I'm just trying to kind of even it out a little bit. I don't want it to look like, Oh, she forgot to put a yellow one there. Okay. I think I'm going to outline it in yellow. I'm going to charge it up. Yep. I'm liking this. I'm going to go over this one area, a couple areas that I can see the purple. Okay, that's good. Now, I wanted to do yellow on here. So this time, I'm going real small. Just like that. Yep. That looks good. Looks kind of starbursty. I think it looks pretty. Okay, I've got this one down here. Maybe I'll start out, although I've got dark purple there, maybe I'll start out with a dark blue. Now, when I think of blue and orange, that's the Detroit Tiger colors. Sure is. All right, I think I'm going to start with a circle in this corner. Give it a charge. And then maybe a circle here. I'm thinking that I might be picking up just a touch of paint here and there. And it's changing the way my line looks. All right, I'm just going to give this a scrub on my paper towel. And let's see what this is going to do. Made a difference. Okay. Oh, well, that's okay. And I'm changing it up now. Okay. I like that. That blue is definitely going to need to do some drying up there. That's okay. I'm just dipping into it like a brush. I'm using it in some of these areas that didn't really get very much paint. Okay. Okay. And when this dries a little bit, we'll go ahead and work on this area some more. And I'm just going to fill in some of these little spots. Am I making a mess? I don't think so. Well, maybe. Won't be the first time. That's for sure. This blue pen, when I charge it, I end up with so much color. I mean, I've got blue color going everywhere now. All right, let's see. That's a big blue blotch. Let's see if I can absorb that. Yeah. Okay. Leave that alone, Julie. You're making a mess. I really am. That is okay, though. It's all part of it. It really is. I'm going to try to pick up a little bit of my paint mess over here, there. Because again, I don't want to drag my arm in it. Okay. Leave that alone, Julie. Let it dry. And let's work on some more of this. All right, green. I'm going to work on, oh, you know what? I'm going to get a piece of paper towel before I start flooding the house again. All right. Now, I want to outline this in green. I think what I'm going to just do is make another ring of green. Okay. Good. I'm going to let that dry and trying to think about what would be fun in here. I think for this one, I'm going to go outside the border a little bit. I think I'm going to go with pink. And I'm going to just take it like this. And again. And again. And then I think I'm just going to give it some yellow. Okay. And now I'm going to take my purple. And, you know, I am honestly just making this up as I go. Just kind of however the shapes sort of make me feel, then that's what I'm doing for decorations. All right, I've got these 3 triangles that I can work on, and I'm going to get some red. And I'm definitely going to outline them. Oh boy, that went way out there. There. Okay. It's kind of a cadmium red, kind of orangey red. All right, we've got more, we've got more. Let's see. Maybe this light orange. Kind of a regular orange, really. I realize this video must be getting awfully long, and I'm so grateful for those of you who have hung in here. I'm going to give this a little more. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having fun with me. All right, let's take brown. We haven't used any brown yet. And let's see, maybe just some stripes. You know, I pulled those metallics out and I haven't used them yet. It's just haven't looked at something and thought, you need a little metallic. Just hasn't happened yet. But now I'm going to do a little something in here. And I think what I'm going to do is some of these swirlies. Kind of like a snail swirl. That looks good. That looks good. Maybe I'll go ahead and yep. I like that. Maybe, should I do another one? Like that. Over here onto the white. That looks cool. Okay. Let's see. These guys. I think I'm just going to put a small little triangle in each of these. Sometimes less is more. I'm going to take the white. This white is the one that I thought was empty. I'm going to grab the other one because this white is finer. And I'm going to go in here. And I think I'm going to put dots. Tiny little white dots. Sometimes the tiniest little thing can make the biggest change. It really can. Yep, I like that. Okay, blue guys. Are you done being crazy? Let's work on you. Okay, maybe dots around that one too. Well, it's kind of close to that. Maybe bigger dots. Oh, it's getting a little thin. Can you hear the scratch? New nib. I like that. I like that a lot better, don't you? I think I'm going to grab the dark purple here and do some more. Just a dot. Okay. And these three, well, I could go in with maybe this color of, now is this a different orange or is that the same? I think it's the same. How about this color? Subtle, but that's okay. All right, we've got this guy who's just been waiting ever so patiently. What are we gonna do? Well, let's see. Let's pick a color. This red again. I think what I'm gonna do, put some squares in, give it an outline. Oh boy. Oh dear. The rumpliness of the paper is getting the better of me. Let's see if we can even this up a little bit. Oh. I picked up some orange. Oh, still orangey. Okay. Leave that alone. What can we do with this? I feel like there's just no place to put my hand. This really got out of control right here. Just try to smooth it out a little bit. Okay. Uh-oh. I think there's a little something right here. Yeah, I got it off. Yay. Okay. I'm gonna grab the yellow. Okay. Now I have this. I think I'm going to take the red and I'm going to go around. Am I putting my hand in something wet? I hope not. I think I'm going to go on the outside of it like this. But I don't want to obliterate the words. Okay. I'm smiling. I like it. All right. I think like that. I think I just want to do a little more like this in some of these outside areas. And so I think I'm going to start out with yellow. And I'm just going to make some marks. There. Okay. A few more. Those go really fast. Let's see. I don't know if this light pink it's going to show up on the magenta, but oh, it did. We can see that. All right, well, let's not pick that color. Let's go with gray again. And again, I'm just going to make some marks. Let's see. I'm going to see it. I can rest my hand. Sticking. Ah, that's what I was afraid of. Right there in the yellow. Ugh. All right, I see I was trying to make these right side up. So how do I do this the upside down way? Nope, that's still upside down. That's better. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, for crying in a bucket. Well, let me know what you think. I really don't know where else to go on this. I like it. I'm going to grab my Sharpie. Thank you for sticking around with me this long. I really appreciate it. I can't say that I'm absolutely done, but to tell you the truth, I just feel like I've had you hanging here so long, and I don't want you to get, sick of me. So I'm just going to say, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this with your friends. If you're on social media, if you consider sharing my